Hello and welcome to this episode on Azure Event Ops. In this episode, I'm going to talk briefly on what is Azure Event Ops. We're going to understand the component of Azure Event Ops, and then we're going to go into the practical side of things to create Azure Event Ops and send events from yellow taxi data on my local laptop. So let's get started. Now, an Azure Event Ops is a real-time data streaming service designed to handle millions of events per second from various sources. It is mainly used for big data analytics, telemetry, and event-driven architectures. Now let's go to the components. Basically, we have the event producers, and these are the source that send data to event ops. They can be applications such as IoT devices, logs, sensors, and it could also be Azure services such as the Azure Functions, Azure Data Factory, and then we can also get data from external systems like the Kafka, APIs, and custom applications. Now we have the event ops, and this is the core service where events are ingested, temporarily stored before being consumed. And it supports partitioning for parallel processing, and events remain in the op for a configured retention period of 1 to 7 days by default. And it uses shared access policies for security. And the third one is the consumer. So these are the subscribers that read data from event op, such as Azure Functions, Azure Stream Analytics, Apache Kafka, consumers, Azure Data Explorer, Azure Databricks, and custom endpoints like Python and .NET. So enough of talking, let's go into the demo part. Okay, so I'm currently in the portal.azure.com. So I'm going to come to the resource group, and I want to use this RCG Cornerstone Analytics resource group. So I'm going to click on this create, and then this is going to take me to the marketplace. Now I can search for the Azure services and external or third-party services. Now I can just narrow down to the Azure services only, and I can just search for events. So as soon as I click on that, I can just press enter, and I'm going to see the event ops. So click on that, and then we have the create event ops. So go ahead and click on that. So this is going to take us to the create namespace, and then under the basics, we're going to provide the project details such as the subscription and the resource group where this is going to be housed. And then for the instance details, we're going to provide a name for the namespace. I'm going to call this one Cornerstone Analytics. So I'm going to choose my region. So I'm going to stick with the UK South, and then for the pricing tier, I'm going to click on this, and we have so many couple of options. We have the premium, standard, and so on and so forth. But because of this demonstration, I'm going to use the list. So I'm going to use this basic, click on that, and I can go on and scroll down. So I can even click on this, browse the available plan and the features. So when I click on that, I can see on the right hand pane, so we have the basics, and then we have the standard and the premium. So we can see some of the functionality that we can do in each of the plans. For example, in the standard, we can actually capture data and then send it into our Azure blob. So I'm going to stick with the basic, and I can scroll down. So I'm going to click on the advanced, and it's going to take me to this next tab. So I'm going to just click on networking, and of course this is going to be a public access connectivity method. So click on tags, and I can click on review plus create. So I can see all the details, and once I'm happy, I can click on create. So this is going to be submitted for deployment, and I'm going to wait for some couple of minutes, usually not more than 5 minutes, and this should be ready to proceed. Okay, so the deployment is now completed. So I'm going to click on go to resource, and then we can see we have the Cornerstone Analytics Event Ops namespace. Now in the overview, we can see all the essential information like the resource group name, the status, the location, the subscription, and all other information. Now I'm going to quickly come to this notepad, and in this notepad, I've got this yellow taxi data, 500 records, and then we can see we have the key value pairs. So we have this key, and then we have the value. Now this is similar to a column name, and then we have the value. So we have the timestamp and so on and so forth. So consider this in the tabular format as a single record in a row. And then we have inside this curly brackets another record, and so on and so forth, 500 in all. Now this is data that I just generated for this demonstration. Now I'm going to go ahead and close this for now. Now on the left hand pane, I'm going to click on this data explorer, and then I can go on and create a new event. So click on that, and then under the basic, I can give this a name. I can choose the partition count, I can choose the retention, and so on and so forth. I'm going to call this one demo events. And once I'm happy, I can go on and specify the partition count. And I can drag this up to this level, the 32, but for the purpose of demonstration, I'm just going to leave it at 1. And then for the retention period, we have the cleanup policy. So this is going to be deleted, and it's going to be available for us for just 1 hour. Okay, so you can also extend it up to 24 hours, but this is fine in this demonstration. So I can go on and click on this review plus create, and this is going to be validated, and I can click on create. Okay, so that's been created. Now I'm going to click on Data Explorer. Now in the Data Explorer, I can see we have the demo event under the event hub, and then we can click on send event, so we can see transmit prepared or custom data. So you can actually transmit a custom data like in a text file or in any format. So I'm going to click on send events. So as soon as I click on that, I can see this send event. So we have the select data sets. I can click on this. So we have options such as the custom payload, we have the yellow taxi, weather data, click stream data, stock data, and so on and so forth. So because I've got my own data specially, so I'm going to stick with this custom payload, and then we can choose the type. So this could be in JavaScript, object notation, JSON, it could be in extensible markup language, it could be in a text plain, it could be in Avro or raw. So I'm going to stick with the JSON because my data is actually in a key value PSD, the JSON format. So I'm going to live with that. And then we have an option to copy paste all the values into this enter payload. And optionally, and which is what I love so much, I can upload the JSON file directly. So I'm going to click on this browse, and this is going to take me to my download. So I can just pick this yellow taxi data 2024 500. Click on that, and then as soon as I click on that, it's going to automatically deploy all the data. So I can see that in this curly brackets, and then so we can see we have the trip ID, and then we have the value, we have the time, and so on and so forth. So I can go down and check it out, so make sure that everything is fine. So we can also set up other properties such as the system. So I can click on this, so we can see the message ID, we can also see the correlation ID, and then we can come to the custom properties, and then we can add custom properties. But this is not required in this demonstration, so I'm going to leave this out. And then I can click on repeat send. So it's going to be sent again, but I'm just going to click on send. So as soon as I click on that send, I can say complete sending one event, and then I can go to the overview, and as I click on the overview, I'm going to scroll down a little bit, and then I can see there's a spike here. Okay, so that tells me that there is an event that has been sent, and I can go back again to the Data Explorer, and I can go to send another event. Click on that, and then I can just upload another file. Let me just upload the second one. Click on that, and then we have this data also for the year 2023. I can click on send. So as soon as I click on send, of course we have other options such as the consumer group, and then we have to partition by this or partition ID. Now this can be configured based on what you need. So I can click on this overview again, and I can scroll down a little bit, and as soon as I scroll down, I can see there is another spike. So this tells me that we are actually receiving events live. So this is how we can create and send events in the Azure Event Ops. In the next video, I'm going to walk you through how we can ingest data from the Azure Event Ops, transform and store the data in KQL database in Microsoft Fabric, and create real-time dashboard. So stay tuned. Thank you. Bye for now.